Wallace.
And I have Don Holly here with me.
Three phases, dressage, cross-country, show jump. And you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right. You know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.
All right, well, welcome to the Jon and Rick Show, the voice of the Horse Radio Network's eventing radio show, brought to you from our brand new Horse Trailer Pros studios right here in Ocala, Florida.
I love it. It's like amazing to have this place set up like this and have a set and a place to sit down and talk about the fun times of eventing and the issues that come into eventing. And today, unfortunately, I think we're going to have one of those days, aren't we?
Yeah. As much as we're excited to be here, it obviously has been a rough, I guess, week and a half, almost 2 weeks now. And we're going to actually be pushing the Mike Winter interview that we were going to show on this episode back to 2 weeks from today. And instead, we're going to take this first segment to just take a minute to talk about the recent accident out at Rocking Horse Horse Trials with Catherine Morell and her horse Carry On.
Well, I can tell you it was February 29th. It's pretty deep in the thoughts. As Briggs was out on course, Elisa was with me, and we just are shocked right now with what happened. There's nothing that prepares you for that kind of accident, and I think it hits the hearts of all of us, and our hearts go out to Cat Morell and her horse Carry On, her husband Scott and their family. We send the deepest condolences and certainly as much as we can send comfort that you can in these hard times. But I think it has done a lot to rejuvenate the call for action. And John, you're one of the best people out there to talk about what's going on because you're our safety officer for the United States of the USEF. So with the shock of what's happened and the huge onslaught of people wanting to do something, what is it that we can all do, and tell our audience where they can go to help?
So I think the first thing for everybody to realize is anytime something like this happens, obviously everybody gets really motivated to do something to make things better. And I think what's really important as you do that is to also reflect that doesn't mean nothing was happening.
Right.
We, as a sport, have been getting safer every year. We are statistically a reasonably safe sport. And we are definitely safer statistically now than we were 15 years ago and even 10 years ago. Things are trending the right direction. But when something like the accident with Kat happens, it makes you step back and sort of reevaluate, are we really doing everything we can? Are we putting pressure on enough? And, obviously when that happened, I put out the video basically asking everybody to step up and let's donate and put this goal of $500,000, which really is a lot of money on one hand, and on the other hand is really, if we get there, it's still just a start.
So I guess to y'all that don't know what happened, it was fence 8 at the Rocking Horse Intermediate course. It was a table. A table does not have any of the safety features of a collapsible table using the pins or safety features that we have. The table did not collapse. The horse had a rotational fall. They were both apparently dead on impact. And so what we have to do now, to John's point, is begin looking at the safety features that can make that table collapsible, correct?
Right. So the technology to make tables collapsible has actually been around for a little while. The fact is that if you have a single telephone rail or a log that's on a MIM clip or a reverse pin, which are two options or two ways that you can make fences frangible, those devices act very quickly. They break quickly at a certain force of joules, and
joules is a measurement of weight.
It's a measurement of weight, and Dave Voss is a genius, and he always tells me the number, and I can never remember. It's like 240 joules, I believe, is what's needed to activate those devices. And so the tables still activate off the same amount of force, but there's a lot more mass to them.
Right.
And so they move out of the way. They pass the testing for the FEI from last year, but they don't move quite as quick as a rail.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't use them. So the way the FEI testing works is there is a minimum force that the device cannot activate under. So they test the bottom force so that you don't have accidental activations. So this year, the FEI came out and they lowered that and said actually that lower end could be even lower, so they activate a little bit more easily. These tables, they pass all the testing from last year. They're still tinkering with them a little bit to make sure that they're going to be up to the new standard. But even the way they are right now, they're still safer than having no frangible device on a table at all. And they're actually in the factory in Sweden, just have to adjust a couple things and they're ready to go.
So, I mean, and that's what we are really pushing for when we're raising money, right?
Absolutely.
So what I would like to also say to that is there are other factors that go into safety when we're riding horses.
Right.
Obviously, having features of pins that collapse tables or make rails fall down is very important, but I think we all need to take an assessment of how and what we're doing when we're riding, who we're coaching, who we're training, ourselves as riders, taking responsibility for what we're doing. Not that anybody deserves to have anything harmful happen to themselves or anybody else. Looking at ground lines on fences, understanding when you should move up a level, when you shouldn't move up a level, when somebody should say something to you if they feel there's danger or they feel something might be encroaching on you that you should take notice.
Right, and I think absolutely there's so many things, and being the National Safety Officer, one of the other things that I get to do is chair the USEA's cross-country safety committee.
Right.
And that committee has put together, we had a great meeting last week. It was a 2-hour meeting, and we immediately put in 2 emergency task forces that are going to be looking at some version of rider licensing that is it going to be
Leslie Grant Law is on that one.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Leslie Grant Law is chairing that group,
Right.
and she is looking at, are the requirements to move up the levels right?
Right.
What's interesting is that basically, roughly speaking, you need 4 runs at a level to move to the next level and to do roughly.
Roughly.
Right? But actually, if you look at most upper level riders, they do almost double that if you go look at the results.
Sure.
And so the question is actually, are those enough?
Right.
And is there a way to say, okay, after you have so much experience in the sport, maybe you can fast track a little bit, but if you've never done a level before, you need to do, what's the number, 8, 10, 12 events
Sure.
before you should be doing the next thing. So that's one thing they're looking at. The next thing that we're looking at, which is the other task force that is being chaired by Sarah Broussard, is there some sort of minimum eligibility requirement that should be put in on the day? So if you go in and you have 5 rails down in the show jumping, should you be allowed to go cross country if show jumping is first?
I think that conversation's been coming up before.
Absolutely. And
Right.
then we're also looking at, and not saying that it would happen, but is there a correlation statistically between a poor dressage test and a poor cross country performance?
Right.
And honestly, I'm not sure, because I know some cross country horses who do
bad
dressage,
and they
they're
have
great cross country
amazing
horses.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot to look at, and I think we're going to dedicate the next segment to talk some more about this. Is that correct? Or are we going to talk about news? I think this is an ongoing thing we need to keep having the conversation for, and as this segment winds down, there's just never enough time to talk about it. But where can people go to donate or look it up or do something?
Well, so there's a GoFundMe fundraiser that's on Facebook, and you can honestly just go to my Facebook page
Right.
and go in there and you can donate direct to that. You can also donate through the USEA Foundation. All of that money is being pooled together. We're in talks with the USEA right now as to exactly how to make it all work, but I think in the next week that money is going to be figured out, and I would say certainly within 2 to 3 weeks that money will start going out to the events, and we're going to have fences starting to be built and frangible tables starting to be built within the next month, I would think.
Well, what we need to continue the conversation. I think we need to go thank our sponsors, and thank, of course, Horse Trailer Pros for letting us be in this new studio. Everybody out there listening to us on the Horse Radio Network's eventing radio show, take a moment here and we have some commercials.
All right, we'll be right back.
Sweet Dixie South is an equestrian facility built for the lifestyle of eventers of all levels. Whether you are coming to Ocala for the entire season, a week, a month, or a year, this beautiful 160-acre farm is the place to settle in and enjoy your time with horses. They offer a full cross-country course with 2 water features, banks, ditches, and amazing footing to gallop, a spectacular all-weather footing ring, large grass jumping fields, and dressage rings. Located in the rolling hills of North Marion County in Reddick, Florida, Sweet Dixie South has 100 stalls and numerous paddocks, apartments, a line of camper hookups, washer and dryer amenities, as well as common areas to complete your experience during your stay. Under the ownership of Mike Campbell and the management of Can-Do Joe Adams of Top Rail Tack, Sweet Dixie South has transformed into a premier eventing training facility in Florida. Go to www.sweetdixiesouth.com for more information.
The equestrian life has big highs, heartbreaking lows, and so many moments of self-doubt. From CCI 5-star to starter, every rider needs a support system and a cheering section. A care package filled with equestrian goodies can be the perfect way to celebrate, congratulate, or commiserate. Let Present Pony do the work so you don't have to miss an opportunity to express your love and support. Jump for Joy show jumps are FEI approved or perfect for your private farm. They're easy to move and high quality and durable, so there's never any painting or scraping required. Need a custom jump with your farm logo or a sponsor jump to place on course? The options are endless. Jump for Joy has something for every budget and can work with you on design. These are just a few of the jumps that we've had custom built for us over the years by Jump for Joy. Check them out at jumpforjoyusa.com. Zachary Brandt Eventing is located in Northwest Ocala and currently has openings for horses in training and for sale. Zach has experience riding multiple horses up through the advanced and 4-star level, as well as teaching riders and horses of all ages and levels. In addition to teaching lessons, Zach is also available for clinics, as well as coaching at competitions. You can find Zach on Facebook and on Instagram.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, the voice of the eventing radio show, and presented by Horse Trailer Pros here at our beautiful studios in Ocala, Florida.
Yeah.
John, we've got some things to talk about in segment 2. It's eventing news around our area and around the world. So why don't we get started? What do we have going on now?
Yeah, so we just finished up Bruce's Field, I guess actually 2 weeks ago now. And we had EQTV Network there doing the live stream. They did a great job. Joel Wiesner and his crew. Good job, Joel. Well done. And yeah, we have some results from there. It was actually a really exciting day. I know if we go through the top of the results, I do see Philip Dutton had a pretty good day, finishing in the
second and third place.
Second and third.
Yeah.
And then the big winner, of course, was Liz Halliday. She is on fire.
With De Niro Z and of course, Robin Christosino.
Robin Christosino.
Coming back, not De Niro.
Not De Niro, but Decino. Absolutely. So
that's super. Congratulations, guys. That is amazing. Like John said, second and third was Philip on Z, and then third on Fernhill, Singapore. That horse is tough to ride.
Yeah, it's an athlete.
It's amazing.
Absolutely. And then we had Will Faudry there with, however you say that one's name.
That's Celeste. Yeah.
There you go. It's not as complicated as I thought.
No.
And then Lauren Nicholson.
I know. You know what? I've been looking at results lately, and I see Lauren Nicholson. I said, who's that?
I know.
And it's, Lauren Kiefer.
Yeah.
Nicholson.
Yep. And then obviously the next one on the list there will be Michael Pendleton, which is kind of cool because he rides for Boyd, and he's on Steady Eddie, who
an Australian thoroughbred.
Yeah, one of Boyd's former horses.
Let me tell you, that horse is impressive because Mike does a really good job with it. Because before it was, he did a really good job with it before, and Boyd did, but boy, Michael can really ride the stew out of that horse.
Absolutely.
So that was good.
So then the next big thing we had were, again, EQTV Network was on site and had some really good commentators, I have to say.
At the eventing prix?
At the eventing prix,
Yeah.
the Ocala eventing prix, and that was a really good time.
And in fact, our guest tonight is Elisa Wallace and her husband, Timothy Harfield, and she was in the eventing prix. So we'll be able to talk to her about that. And what else we got going on?
So what's really cool is we actually have an interview from
Let's watch the interview.
the Ocala eventing
And
prix
listen.
with the winner, Will Coleman.
Let's listen to it.
Let's
So
check out the interview.
let's listen and see what's going on.
We are joined here by Mr. Will Coleman. The three-peat happened today. So, Will, thanks for coming on.
It was a
Happy to be
three-peat.
here.
So, how many times have you won this now?
Three in a row.
3 in a row.
Wow.
And twice with this same horse.
Twice for this horse. Yeah.
And it's really cool because he was one of our first guests on the Jon and Rick show.
That's right.
And here he is winning. Look, he's got a lot of money. He can take us out.
Giant checks.
They are big checks.
And that one over there is actually to Will. It doesn't say his name in it, but he got it.
This is compliments of Equijet and Bastion, which is a really good group to fly with.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
We're very appreciative of all of it, all the sponsorship. This show is amazing, and it's big for the Ocala eventing scene. And
Yeah, this is so
look
cool.
how many people came out. It's amazing.
I know.
So, what's the plans for this horse going forward?
He'll do a 4-long this spring. He's a 10-year-old, so
For long.
it'll be. Haven't really decided
Figured out
yet.
where?
We've kind of earmarked Tattersall's possibly as an option
That'd be
for
cool.
him.
Well, then that Equijet check is going to come in
It's gonna
pretty handy.
come in pretty
in
handy.
really
I don't know what their
handy.
Irish rates are, but we'll check them out with Bastion.
All right. It's pretty
That's
exciting.
cool. Congratulations again and good job. And
Yeah,
thanks
good job,
to,
buddy.
to Max and everybody for putting this on.
Absolutely.
And
Mac-
Ocala Horse Properties for presenting it, right?
Chris Robb and Matt Varney and Max and Scotty obviously here. They
Terrific
really
job.
took on this project and it's flown. So it's really
keeps
cool. And
going.
we're all really, really appreciative of their kind of doing this for us.
Yeah. Great for keep winning.
Yeah, you're going to go for 4 next year.
I would love to. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to hopefully be here, so I might try to take a crack at it.
You should.
See if I can
You should.
dethrone you.
Get a piece of this cheddar here.
I got big. Let me give me.
Come on,
Actually,
buddy.
give me this check. All right.
All right,
See you
we're
later.
going off. Congratulations, bud.
Thanks, guys.
Well done.
All right. Thanks a lot.
We're back from the interview, and Will obviously has a really good sense of humor.
He does.
He's
I mean,
like the
I was
Iceman
trying
out there.
I mean, he was ready to go and win again. I think he was serious about winning it again next year.
He is always a serious guy.
I kept on asking if he was going to go through the drive-through with that check.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of
fold
funny.
it up and stick it in.
Stick it in there.
So obviously, Will had a great go. Carl Slesak from Canada had.
Carl on Fernhill Wishes, the horse that he went to the Pan Ams with.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because we actually had 2 Canadians in the top 4 there with Colleen Loach, who
Right.
I have a special affection for Colleen because she was a student of mine for
Oh,
a while.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's right, you know.
And then Mia Farley, we had on the show, ate her first Big Mac.
Yeah,
And
then
she
goes
was
and-
third.
Yeah, so apparently Big Max.
Big Mac
Make
did
the
it
jump
for you.
clear, which is
You got to
pretty
do it
cool.
again.
Yeah.
On that firecracker mare.
That's right. That's right. And then after the Ocala Eventing Prix, everybody hit the road again with the gypsy lifestyle that we have, and we went up to Red Hills.
Red Hills.
Yeah,
We did Red Hills, and I got the food poisoning flu.
Yeah, Rick's pretty sure he had food poisoning, but it's funny because it's contagious.
I called it the food poisoning flu.
Yeah, so we had Rick with the flu, food poisoning, and then Elisa apparently has the same food poisoning,
Flu.
Jay Hambley, who's the course designer for the Ocala horse trials coming up here shortly, he has the food poisoning
Well,
flu.
I got to say that I've never been in contact with Jay.
Well, but I was with you, and I was probably a carrier, and then gave it to Jay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm
right.
just saying, I'm patient 0.
Okay.
So
So anyway, Red Hills went on, even though I had the flu.
Yes,
And
it was a great weekend of sport. They really have done a great job up at Red Hills. The footing is getting so much better every year.
I agree. And there was a lot of rain on Thursday, and it really set the stage for the rest of the week. It cleared up. It was beautiful. It was kind of cold in the morning. It warmed up in the afternoons. The setting was amazing for everybody, and it just ran really well.
Yeah, it's a great event. So if it's not on your calendars, it needs to be on your calendars because it was awesome.
It was pretty great.
And what's really cool is we have an interview from Red Hills with the winner, Sharon White. So
Sharon White.
let's go check out that interview.
So we're here with Louie, and we can't find Sharon, but we were just congratulating him. We're pretty excited because he waited for the buzzer this weekend.
He did. He waited for the buzzer. We know that Sharon sometimes doesn't. So this one won the 4-star short at Red Hills.
Yeah, congratulations, buddy.
We're so proud of you.
He's got a big tub of hay here ready to celebrate.
Maybe we'll find Sharon somewhere, I don't know, around the barn somewhere.
Oh, you just bit me.
Signing off.
Here you go. Congratulations.
Good job.
All right, let's go find Sharon. We're super excited we've got Sharon White here in case we didn't already say that.
Yes, Sharon White here with the win at Red Hills Horse Trials.
And sitting on just the most wonderful horse. So.
And so I want to ask.
Let's get closer, just in case.
I want to ask because I know this is a sore subject, but Ocala Jockey Club, something happened. What happened?
Yeah, I forgot to wait for the bell. So in the show jumping. So I'm so glad. My only goal this weekend was to wait for the bell.
And
That's
you
it.
won,
That's
and we were so proud of you.
We just like follow the rules, Sharon. Just follow the rules. You're a rule follower. So last night I did not see that coming at the Jockey Club. That was
None of us saw that coming.
shock to my system. It was like being like a bullet through the chest.
Wow.
As the buzzer was going, I was like, "There's no way. There's no way. I'm
didn't just happen.
I'm a rule follower. Like I've done this 80 million times."
Well, you pulled it all together. You got the win. We're going to have you on our show
So excited.
Yeah,
soon.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So be sure to tune in to the Jon and Rick show, March 22nd, I believe.
20-something. We'll tell you in a
20-something.
minute here.
We'll tell you soon. All right. Thanks a lot. Again, thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Super great interview there. And what's very exciting is in 2 weeks' time, we have Sharon right here, and she's going to tell us
No
even
way.
more about,
I think because we selected her to go on the show,
Yeah.
it created the win at Red Hills.
Basically, it's the Jon and Rick show luck.
Boom.
Yeah. You're welcome, Sharon.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the other thing we have is that February 15th was the deadline for the Olympic
the deadline for the
applications.
Olympics to get in. So it's a funny story about this because Elisa's coming on soon. I think it was 2016. I said, Elisa, did you put in your application for the Olympics? And she said, it's Johnny. They don't like Johnny. I don't need to put my. I was like, put your application in. Well, lo and behold, she was 8th and ended up being on the alternate.
Yeah, she was real close. And
Yeah.
that's what Joni Morris, who used to be the high performance director
Right.
for eventing, always used to tell me, just put your application
Put your application in.
Yeah, so we're telling you that now because it's already
Because
passed. So it's super helpful
Too late.
information. Yeah.
It's all right.
You're
Leaves the
welcome.
door open for those that did.
Right. But you know what? It may not matter anyway because the coronavirus is happening and maybe there won't be an Olympics at all.
Oh, now let's talk about the corona. We'll come back to it, I think, in more detail. But
This is why I only drink Yingling.
right.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get it under control. I don't know what's going on with Tokyo. There is a lot of conversation about it perhaps being canceled. So let's put our not panic hats on and go through the motions of
Now,
what we
panic
gotta do.
sells. And we're a TV show,
So
so
panic.
we're selling panic.
All right.
The Olympics probably aren't going to happen, guys, and you should keep tuning in right here for all the latest information.
we'll
to
let
find
you
out.
know.
Yeah.
So those applications didn't mean a thing.
Right. You're probably going to be
Doesn't
good
matter.
for 4 years from now when we go to France again.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's take a break. We're going to move into the next segment.
All right. Watch out for Corona.
Special thanks to our contributing sponsor, Black Horse Farm, Fox Hunting and Eventing. Located in Area 4, Black Horse Farm and the Mossback Hounds in Elizabeth, Illinois, welcome active USEA eventers to come join them for an introductory fox hunt free of charge. Ride with Master of the Hounds, Tony Leahy, and the Mossback Hounds over some of the finest hunt territory in the entire country. For further details, visit Black Horse Farm on Facebook to arrange for a ride sponsor. When I compete, I demand the best out of my horses and myself. That means being the best version of me I can, both mentally and physically. That's why CrossFit Antics is my home gym. Coach Vilma creates a fun, welcoming environment that encourages athletes from beginners to seasoned veterans to be their best. New to CrossFit? No problem. Coach V will modify the workout to suit you in a fun, challenging way. Be sure to mention the Jon and Rick Show for a special discount. ERA of North America is the voice of the rider, to assimilate and leverage the collective voice of North American riders, equine professionals, and owners. ERA of North America works to improve the overall safety, welfare, visibility, and growth of the sport. Be sure to go to www.eraofna.com and jump in. You can compare, you can contrast, but in the end, there's only one ultra-premium horse feed, Pro Elite Horse Feed. Its nutrition lock formulas ensure quality, its advanced amino acid profiles maximize performance, its regulated starch and sugar levels mean confident calorie sourcings, and its superior digestibility leads to an overall healthier horse. When it comes to feeding your champion horse, there is no competition. There's Pro Elite Horse Feed. For more information, visit www.proelitehorsefeed.com.
All right, well, welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, the voice of the eventing radio show, right here from Horse Trailer Pro Studios in Ocala, Florida.
Here we are.
We have now been joined by Elisa Wallace and Timothy Hartfield. Harfield. I said it wrong. I put the T in. There's no T.
No T in Harfield.
No T, but it's hard, man. I
It's
know
like
there's no T,
Garfield.
but it is still Harfield. So anyway, we're excited to have them both here. Obviously, Elisa is super famous, big-time 5-star event rider, been listed for numerous U.S. teams. Also, one of the greatest Mustang trainers in the world.
Oh,
Yeah, which is pretty awesome. And huge YouTuber social media following, which actually in the end is really due to her husband, Timothy, who is...
We can talk about that actually.
Yeah.
Because that's a common misperception. So,
Thank you.
in actual fact, when you look at the vast majority of Lisa's videos,
Yes.
they're either done 100% by her or some large percentage by her. So, Elisa and I have been very collaborative over the last number of years. We've worked
used
very
that
effectively
word
together.
somewhere in here.
Collaboration.
It's a big word.
It is a big word. There are many syllables, but no, Elisa is to be given all the credit for everything that she does.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, thanks.
good job, buddy.
I
Yeah.
can't see her.
Well, that's because I'm leaning forward.
Hey.
Well,
So let's get that. That's a point. So Elisa, tell us about yourself.
About myself.
Elisa Wallace is from.
Yes. So I've just moved down to Ocala. We have. We were up in Jasper, Georgia. So we're about 8 miles from the Ocala Jockey Club. So 8 miles from my dad. It can seem really close. It can seem really far.
It's-
Depends on
yeah.
the day.
I hear you, man.
But hey,
Yeah. So it's been really great moving down to Ocala. It's basically a horse wonderland down here, and being surrounded by so many professionals like yourself, and being able to get the more help. I was a little isolated up in Georgia, and so we made the move down and really tried to help grow my business and to really, try to make a team. It's kind of the goal.
We moved away, but it really felt like coming home.
Yeah.
right?
Because this is where our family is, where all of our friends are,
Right.
our community is. So we really feel blessed to be here.
And we did get to go out and see the farm and get a little bit of a tour, and that was, it's so much fun when you're starting a new farm like that and
I don't
getting
think
a new home.
They didn't
But
call
Yeah.
it fun
I
at
don't know if
first.
it
It's
was
a lot of work.
fun. I mean,
Oh, come on.
Well,
Yeah.
they bought the farm in February of last year, and here we are. Flash forward
it
Yeah.
took about a year.
About a year.
It kind of just, bless him. He's been a good husband to me. But I was like, hey, let's buy a farm. We talked about it, and we just kind of got in a good situation with the farm that came onto the market, and it just so happened, and we ended up buying it. And then, of course, me being me, I kind of freak out to change a little bit. So it's taken me a while to kind of grasp the situation, but overall, this is the best thing for me, my horses, and everyone involved. So it's been really good.
And it's been good having them here. So, I mean, the good thing is it's changed even my life. I've been down here since January of last year, and they came during season back and forth. But we used to stall at Rocking Horse and not trailer in and out. And so this year was the first year to do that. And it changed everything about riding and competing just because it's a whole different way of doing it.
Well, and it is so nice when you live here, isn't it, that you can go to these events and then at the end of the day you come back home
yeah,
and you
it's
can
so
sleep
nice
at your,
getting in
sleep in
bed.
your own
Yeah.
bed.
And it's good as a
Totally worth it.
supporter too, because I don't have to truck my whole self and body everywhere. I can just go down the street, watch Elisa compete,
And go back home.
and go back home.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's great having them here. It really is.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's been fun for me having all my friends much closer. That's nice to have, so I appreciate it for sure.
I think Elisa should tell everybody out there about her Mustangs or Johnny and the horses, and tell us what everybody wants to hear about
So
you.
I currently have my girls call it the E5 horses. So it's simply
Why is
priceless.
it E5?
It's the Elisa 5, E5.
Oh, I like that.
I get it.
Yeah,
It's very
so that's why I
flashy.
can. Good girls. So luckily, I have two really good working students, Sarah Bowman and Megan Malloy, who have helped me a lot and keep me as organized as I can be. And I've got Johnny, Simply Priceless, who's my 5-star horse. He's 19 this year in November.
I heard that he was 17.
Yeah. Oh, bless him.
He's really 18. I don't know why there's this confusion.
He's 2001, so his
But he's an
birthday's in
Australian.
November.
Right.
Right, but he's 2001, so he's 19 this year. And we're aiming for Kentucky, the 5-star. So I'm really excited. He's looking really great. He did really well at the eventing pre, had one pull down. The show jumping has always been a little bit of his weak point. And then it's kind of weird for me because I finally have so many horses in my string, something I've been working very hard for. And I acquired a new horse from Kyle Carter, Let It Be Lee. He is a intermediate horse that I'm really excited about.
And what is he? Is he thoroughbred?
He's thoroughbred as well, very, very similar. I have a very similar type, it seems. I have dark bays with a star, so it's kind of hard to tell the difference. We've been doing really well. We were 4th out at our last intermediate at Rocking Horse. So, and then the next one up is my dad's horse, actually Munson Slew.
Munson Slew.
And that is a pretty well-bred thoroughbred as well.
Yeah.
He's
is,
Seattle Slew.
Seattle Slew.
Right.
And he's another dark bay with a star. And he just moved up to intermediate, and he finished 2nd at Rocking Horse. And then I have Riot Gear, who is another intermediate horse of mine, very talented Oldenburg, 60% thoroughbred. Very, very talented horse. Him and Johnny both had injuries last year, so they were out last year, and they're back good as ever. And then I've got Sharp Decision, or Sharpie, he just competed at Red Hills. And he's a war horse. He's a thoroughbred that I did the RRP with, and he raced 61 times, and he's doing prelim. And then I've got my 3 Mustangs. I've got Win, Fledge, and Rune. And Fledge and Rune will be doing the demos at Kentucky at the 5-star. What's really cool about Kentucky this year is they also offered the combined test in the advance.
Right.
So I'm taking Lee and Riot Gear as well. So it's going to be a little bit of a busy.
Yeah, that's a lot to focus on.
Busier, but I tend to do better when I don't have to necessarily remind myself that I'm at a 5-star. I just kind of pretend.
So I can interject. So back to Simply Prices is owned by the Simply Prices Syndicate, and you have how many owners on that syndicate?
So we have you, because I tend to forget you. We
That's
have
probably the most important one.
No, it's not. The most
Steve
important.
and Vicky
They're
Sukup,
all important besides me.
Kim and Larry Lovelace, Susan Day, and I think that's all in
That's
that
it.
syndicate.
Yep. And then you have Riot Gears owned by.
Riot Gear is owned by Vicky and Steve Sukup. And then I've got Lee, who is owned by Donna Biggs and Rosemarie Spillane.
Donna and her husband as well.
Donna and Jim.
Yeah.
And then Munson's owned by you. Sharp Decision is owned by Susan Day. And Kim and Larry Lovelace also own a very nice up-and-coming thoroughbred of mine called Play Big.
Which the whole point here is it takes
It takes
It
a
takes
village.
a village.
So
Big
when
work.
she was naming all those things, the interesting thing about the syndicate owners is the syndicate owners were the first ones, other than Rosemarie, that has always been a very big supporter of hers. Those syndicate owners broke off and bought other horses for her. So when you start getting syndicate owners, they start to understand it, and then you start getting.
Sure, they
you
want
can
to
attest
absolutely.
to that
They
fact,
want to
so.
start getting more and more involved.
Right.
So one thing that I think is really fun is one of your horses is a Breyer horse.
Yes.
Yes, so that's Win.
That is Win.
So
yes.
I thought I brought it, but I don't think
expected,
I
I'm
brought
just going to say this right now, I expected when you came into the Jon and Rick show that we would have a Breyer horse
Oh,
I
to
okay.
be able to put back here on
I
the
actually
table.
brought it. I think it's in the truck.
Yeah,
unreal.
he has it.
Unreal
He's a
that we don't
slacker.
have Win
I'll bring her
No.
here.
here for the win.
I mean, I could.
But you do have Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer
Oh, my
right
Lord.
behind
Now,
you.
I didn't
Okay.
expect anybody to point
I
that
mean,
out.
I mean, you know,
I I should have.
Set.
I don't know how she would have quite done in the set. Probably Fledge and Rune would have come.
Well-
Rune would have sat on the couch with us, but.
That's true.
The Mustangs have been really great for my career as well. They make me different, and they're really, really good horses. And I think they're great at eventing horses as well. And so my goal is to one day have a Mustang at the advanced level. And yeah, so I'm pretty
So
excited
do you think
about
that Mustang is in your barn right now?
Wynn got up to the prelim level, and that's where I think she'll stay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think she has one in her barn right now.
No, not right. Well, I can't count out Eton.
Well, he's
my black Mustang that he's been really tough, but it'll be interesting to see him develop. And then actually Kim and Larry Lovelace have a very talented Mustang they got in, and they're going to be he's going to be coming to the string
Oh, I didn't know
once
that.
he's gentled. Yeah, so
Did you?
pretty exciting. He knows later. So he always.
I will discover.
He's
I
still
will,
looking like-
that's the look that I have.
All right, well, listen, when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about Johnny and get
Yeah,
into
let's
him a
talk
little
about
bit more.
Johnny.
Talk about Johnny and what your plans for him are and go into that. But in the meantime, let's go take a quick break.
Okay,
and we'll be
let's
right
take
back.
a break.
The equestrian life has big highs, heartbreaking lows, and so many moments of self-doubt. From CCI 5-star to starter, every rider needs a support system and a cheering section. A care package filled with equestrian goodies can be the perfect way to celebrate, congratulate, or commiserate. Let Present Pony do the work so you don't have to miss an opportunity to express your love and support. Summit Joint Performance, the injectable joint supplement used by numerous international and Olympic riders, invites you to experience the winning Summit difference. Made of all natural ingredients, Summit increases mobility and comfort. Win your class with Summit Joint Performance. ERA of North America is the voice of the rider, to assimilate and leverage the collective voice of North American riders, equine professionals, and owners. ERA of North America works to improve the overall safety, welfare, visibility, and growth of the sport. Be sure to go to www.eraofna.com and jump in.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, the voice of the Horse Radio Network's eventing radio show, live here from the Horse Trailer Pros studios. And we are still joined by Elisa Wallace, Mustang hero and 5-star event rider, and horse hubby, Timothy Harfield. Thanks for still sticking around, guys. I'm glad we haven't scared you off yet.
They tried to leave, but we pulled them back in.
Right. So what we want to talk about here
I think
is simply
Johnny.
priceless. So the big question I have before we get into what he's doing that I think is something that everybody's gonna be interested in is, like you said, he's 19 years old. So
2001.
So how do you, as a trainer, know? Because I've watched him go. He looks amazing, and I am 100% on board that he is, like, he's doing everything he should do, and he should keep going. But how do you make those decisions as to when a horse is going great and should keep going,
good
and
question.
when it's time that, okay, because I've retired horses at 12 or 13 that I go, that one's done, and then you have some like Johnny who stick around and they just want to keep going.
Well, it's definitely something that I've struggled with, and I am very blessed to have amazing owners, and it's a conversation that I have talked with my owners about, and to make sure everybody's comfortable with where we are. And the biggest thing is obviously the comfort of my horse and the happiness of my horse. So also having professionals behind me as well, Dr. Jill Copenhagen, my farrier Chase New, they've all been amazing, and making sure that Johnny is 110%, and it has to come on a feeling. Is he happy in his job? Is he happy in his work? And that horse doesn't owe me anything. He's done so much for me. So I've just kind of came out this year. He just felt so good, and he loves to go to work. So it's really just listening to him is really the biggest thing for me.
Why don't you tell us about where he's taking you?
Well, he took me way farther than I expected. I was really happy to get to my first Kentucky, and I thought kind of that was the end of the journey for us, but then it was just kind of the beginning. So we've done Burley, three or four Kentuckys. Jeez, I can't even keep track.
You're on three.
Three times.
This will be my fourth. And then we went to badminton. He technically finished badminton. I did not, but
These things happen.
you know, bless him. He finished.
Yep.
Yeah, he's taken me to Broma. I mean, we've gone to Canada. We've gone to England several times. It's just amazing what that horse has done for me. He really has put me out there, and it's so amazing to be out there on course and to hear people root for your horse. It's just the best feeling.
Right, absolutely. And so from here, where you go to run him next?
He will run at Carolina. So I've kept the runs kind of short on him because he is older this year. And so he just ran an intermediate, which he won. We've only won. That's our second win ever together.
All right.
Yeah, got it. And so
That was a competitive intermediate division, if I recall. There were some good horses in there.
It was.
And I remember being told by David O'Connor a long time ago, it's not what you win, it's who you beat.
Oh, wow.
And you beat some really good horses there.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, so well done.
I tend to not pay attention sometimes.
I
When
always
I'm
pay
at rocking horse with Johnny, it just
Sometimes
I'm
it's
just
just
happy
like
to have
beat the
good
children.
go.
I like to beat them. But you
Well,
beat some really good
Johnny
horses.
this year's decided he wants to jump around clean in the show jump.
Yeah, he looks amazing.
It's like, okay, so. still
Yeah, and
great.
so we plan on running at Carolina, and then he will that's kind of where I've always run at Carolina before he goes to Kentucky, and it gives him enough time to recover and then make sure he's nice and fit and ready to go. I've also been able to, thank goodness to the Ocala properties at the eventing prix. They offered some amazing prizes with the raffle with the
Yeah, and she won that
Aquatread with the
Aquatread
Lands.
thing.
The
Oh,
Lanes
awesome.
Mark, yeah. So I'm really excited to add that to his conditioning program, which I think is going to really help me with him. And then, you know, as I talked about with badminton, he did have AFib that happened there, so that added a whole nother layer of knowledge of that just opened my eyes. So he has his own cardiologist as well.
Yeah, I had a horse that had AFib years ago,
yeah.
and it is amazing what you can learn about the heart. Now, I will just warn you, I had a horse with AFib, and then like 10 years later, I got AFib. So
God.
I think it might be like the food poisoning
No.
flu.
Let's-
It
let's-
could be contagious.
And let's point out a little bit. The first time we saw Simply Priceless is because of you.
Yeah, he was actually at my barn.
Yep.
That's right.
Well, actually, we saw him before he got to your barn because you were excited about him in California.
Yep.
Showed us the video.
Yep.
And then, as things happen in life, things just transpired, and it ended up to getting to Elisa. But
That's
you had
cheap.
him.
Yeah, hey, whatever. You've done an amazing job. I couldn't be more proud of you and happy for you. So,
But it's
well done.
it's how small.
I'm not
this world
bitter.
is.
I'm not bitter at
Not
all.
bitter at all.
Get out.
Yeah.
Your interview's over.
Okay.
Done.
Timothy, you can stay.
Thanks, guys.
You're in.
No, but so Carolina, you're going to go there. That's obviously an Ian Stark course. Lots of prize money. So
Yeah.
good for that.
$100,000.
Yeah, so-
$16,000 first place winner, the 4-star.
Yeah.
Carolina tends to, Carolina does a really good job of making sure I'm sharp.
Right.
So I tend to kind of always feel like I
That's
have to work
probably a
for
good
it
point.
pretty hard there. If you were to look at my record, you'd be like, yeah, Lisa, you have a little bit of rough with your rails there. And so it can, in the atmosphere for him, can be a little tough sometimes, but for some reason he loves Kentucky. He loves the championships.
Sure.
He loves to be the center of attention. He thinks it's appropriate to have cameras. He doesn't think it's appropriate to have horses warming up near him. So that's kind of a Johnnyism.
Sort of like me.
But
Right.
You.
yeah. So again, but Caroline, I always feel it really kind of makes us strap our. Nothing. Never mind. I was going down the
I
wrong
hear
road.
I don't know what you were
I
getting
don't
into
know.
there.
Real quickly, let's go through as we're winding down this segment. Johnny was in 2015 17th at Kentucky. He was the highest. You were the highest placed rookie. In 2016, you were 8th, which got you the alternate for Rio.
Right.
That same year, you went to Burley. You were 14th, the highest
Right.
placed rookie. Then 2018, you were 21st at Kentucky.
I think I was 26th.
somewhere in there. But hey,
It says 21st on our
okay.
notes here.
Sweet,
So
if that was
I'm going to say
21st.
that you were 21st.
Awesome.
That's what Stat Boy put together for us.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
I'm happy with that.
Good job, Stat Boy.
oh, that was me.
That was
You're
Stat
Stat
Boy.
Boy.
It's
Well,
Stat Boy.
might have been 26.
Anyway, that's
Sorry.
impressive, and I just thought it's something to regroup through as you go through. We're expecting first this year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure, that would be
I got my
amazing.
money on you.
Okay, sweet.
Then
well,
that application
you know,
will count. Although, with the corona, we might just have to have it in the
It
States.
could just be a stay-at-home Olympics.
Stay at home.
Yeah, that'd be great. Too.
Everybody will take videos of themselves riding and then
then
send it
submit
in
it.
to a
Yeah.
committee.
It's just
There
like
we
school.
go.
They
Exactly.
want. I just
I think we
heard
should-
University of Florida. Everybody's going to be switching to online. That's actually a great
Mm-hmm.
idea. You could do online
Online
Olympics.
submissions. Just like I said, though, I think we need to do a fundraiser with not write a test. It's going to be do a test. The judge judges you. Like y'all go in there and let the
Writable
judges.
judges.
Yep. And then they're going to get on the horse and they're
That
going to
would
do
be
the same
amazing.
test, and
Please
you get
do
to
it.
judge them.
I like it.
Or
I think we could raise
have
money.
people like me ride the test and
Oh,
have
God,
their
no.
spouses judge them.
But that
and
wouldn't
then
be
the
as fun.
reverse.
I mean,
But
that's a
I
bad
want you to
idea.
live. So
You
there's
think
that.
you do, but then when he starts, you'll probably be like, I wish he would just die.
Just stop. I don't care how it ends.
No, he can only ride tadpole. He rides the Mustangs. They're the safe ones.
They are.
Well, we're really excited about Carolina. Are you going? You're not going.
I'm not going to Carolina, so you're going to have to be our on-scene
well, I can
reporter
be
there.
on-scene reporter. I'm actually didn't know this until today, but I'm riding as well.
Excellent.
So I'm doing a new horse we have called Ingomar in the training.
Oh God.
But
I like it when my dad doesn't ride.
I like it when your dad rides. He's a good rider. He taught you things.
thank you.
I like it when my dad's there.
So you just wanted to support
Coaching.
you
Yeah.
and be a selfish little girl.
Yeah,
Right.
that's great.
Right.
Well, I didn't know I was going to ride, but I am going to ride. But I still have time
that's good.
to represent the Jon and Rick show and do interviews and have
Job.
fun and keep
And
things
I'm
up.
nervous because this means you're on your own doing this, and you get sometimes going on your own tangent. So make sure you stay focused. Elisa, keep him.
Seems like we found Sharon when we were looking for her at Red Hills.
Well, yeah.
We
that
found
was
our
because
horse
of me.
first, though.
I kept us focused.
You did. Like right now when we're
Boys,
going
focus.
We're on it. So when we do come back here for our next segment, we're actually going to spend some time talking to Timothy, Elisa's better half.
And far less interesting half.
I think it's going to
No,
be
I
pretty
think he's
'cause
interesting.
I'm looking at this. His resume is pretty good, although he is Canadian, which I personally
Sorry.
I hold it against you. And he didn't even bring his Canadian beer. He actually is wicked smart. He's got a master's in business, a PhD in philosophy. Is that right?
I've got a bunch of letters after my name.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of letters.
Yeah.
And the founder of Horse Hubbies.
Horsehubby.com.
Yeah, so I want to hear all about that. And even though he doesn't say he has a lot to do with Elisa's social media, I'm pretty sure he does. He's just trying to stay in her good books here because he is like
Happy
the
wife, happy life.
the most supportive husband and son-in-law on the planet, apparently.
Let's go to a commercial.
Special thanks to our contributing sponsor, Black Horse Farm, Fox Hunting and Eventing. Located in Area 4, Black Horse Farm and the Mossback Hounds in Elizabeth, Illinois, welcome active USEA eventers to come join them for an introductory fox hunt free of charge. Ride with Master of the Hounds, Tony Leahy, and the Mossback Hounds over some of the finest hunt territory in the entire country. For further details, visit Black Horse Farm on Facebook to arrange for a ride sponsor.
Jump for Joy show jumps are FEI approved or perfect for your private farm. They're easy to move and high quality and durable, so there's never any painting or scraping required.
Need a custom jump with your farm logo or a sponsor jump to place on course? The options are endless. Jump for Joy has something for every budget and can work with you on design. These are just a few of the jumps that we've had custom built for us over the years by Jump for Joy. Check them out at jumpforjoyusa.com. You can compare, you can contrast, but in the end, there's only one ultra-premium horse feed, Pro Elite Horse Feed. Its nutrition lock formulas ensure quality, its advanced amino acid profiles maximize performance, its regulated starch and sugar levels mean confident calorie sourcings, and its superior digestibility leads to an overall healthier horse. When it comes to feeding your champion horse, there is no competition. There's Pro Elite Horse Feed. For more information, visit www.proelitehorsefeed.com. When I compete, I demand the best out of my horses and myself. That means being the best version of me I can, both mentally and physically. That's why CrossFit Antics is my home gym. Coach Vilma creates a fun, welcoming environment that encourages athletes from beginners to seasoned veterans to be their best. New to CrossFit? No problem. Coach V will modify the workout to suit you in a fun, challenging way. Be sure to mention the Jon and Rick Show for a special discount.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show. It feels like a family reunion here. We're the voice of the eventing radio show, and we are special thanks out to Horse Trailer Pros for being the presenting sponsor of this great show of ours. And in this great studio, we're back with Timothy Harfield and her wife, his wife,
or her wife.
Elisa
What a
Wallace.
perfect segue into our next
know.
conversation.
I was just trying to do that really well. My son-in-law, my daughter. Let's let you take it over so you can interview Timothy.
Yeah, so again, we're just super excited to have Elisa here, the Mustang magician and 5-star rider, and Timothy Harfield, her super wicked smart husband from Canada, which, like I said, you didn't bring Canadian beer.
No.
I got no maple syrup.
I'm also a super slacker.
Yeah, and no
Nothing.
poutine. Nothing.
No poutine.
Nothing.
Nope.
So
let's.
I don't even know
why
I
I'm
can
here.
say, how long have you been in this family?
Oh, geez, like 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so
There we go.
I
We
would-
started.
all right, here we go.
Forward, we're off. So he just leaned forward, we're off and running. Go.
So I would literally not be where I am here. Well, obviously, I would not be where I am today if not for her.
Well, that's
Literally, because I'm here because of her. But, you know, when Elisa and I met, I knew nothing about horses at all. I was allergic to dogs.
Still are.
Still am, and I have 2 of them.
it's amazing what love will do to allergies.
But, you know, I recently moved down to complete my PhD in the States. I had learned the hard way that you don't want to masticate where you defecate.
All right.
So I didn't want to date within my own, because
You didn't want to date at Emory.
academics are nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, smart
I get
people are
that.
crazy. So you don't want to do that. So I went to the internet, and fortunately, Elisa,
I reached out to you.
because I was basically a human horse.
Wait. Wait a minute.
Hang
It's
on.
always a
Wrong
fun
language.
conversation.
Okay.
You have them.
Explain.
So the same strategies that you had perfected to find horses on the internet, you used to find me.
Yes.
So you
there's
guys
how
found
did
on a
that
dating
work?
website or what?
Yeah. Go
it's called
fishing or
plenty,
something.
Plenty of fish.
Oh, go
Plenty of
fishing,
fish.
plenty
It's
of
free.
fish.
Okay.
And so there I had like the stack. They have to have certain height and educational qualities and
Color eyes.
That's a bit educationalist, but okay, go ahead.
well, yes, I have dated ones without education.
Yeah, but
and-
you were also in Jasper, Georgia.
Yes, but I had an education.
Okay. All right, anyway, go ahead.
So, anyways, and so then I also had the stack of the ones that had baggage, so the divorced and all that stuff, because I was in my 20s, and so I came back around. Oh, also we're both Tauruses, and I had a thing about Taurus and Taurus.
Well, yeah,
not-
you can't have the same.
So were you
Well, we
not
are.
hitting all the
right,
dots?
so Jen and myself.
No,
Yeah.
I think I
did
checked
hit
most of the boxes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
Yeah.
except for the divorce part. But then I was
And the
happy
Taurus
that the
Yeah.
Taurus and the divorce part.
We're like-
but I got over that,
So-
so it was
Right.
fine.
they met on a blind date that was supposed to start at 7:00.
No, you're already wrong. That was the first date was on time. That was at the High Museum.
Oh, okay.
That
Because
was-
I'm a nerd and I wanted to see the Salvador Dali exhibit. I'm like,
Right.
if this date goes totally bad, at least I've seen the Salvador
Right.
Dali
It was the
exhibit.
second date where then I called him again because he didn't call me. But
So you were the aggressor.
I was totally
Why
the
is that
aggressor.
not shocking?
I was just over it. I didn't care. I was like, whatever. I'm calling him. So I called him. I
This
said,
is a
hey,
funny story,
do you want to
actually.
come to the rodeo? It starts at 8 o'clock. My little sister's with me. My mom's picking her up at 6:30. So if you want to come around then.
Can I
He's
just
like,
interrupt for a second here? So I
Sure.
just want to point out that we went to Salvador Dali when Timothy was in charge,
To the rodeo.
and to the rodeo when you were in charge.
But
Yeah.
here,
All right.
so remember, I'm
That's
Canadian.
fun. What's wrong
I
with
grew
that?
up in Calgary, Alberta, which is home to the greatest outdoor show on earth, the Calgary Stampede. So my only experience with the rodeo was the Calgary Stampede. So I heard 8 o'clock. She didn't say AM or PM. So when did I show up?
At 7 o'clock in the morning.
Damn right.
She
my
was
Lord.
cleaning stalls and stuff.
I
and you
was
walked
like-
I had no car. I had to rent a car,
Yeah, he didn't have a car.
drove up,
And so that was a 14-hour date.
That's right.
It must have gone
And they're
all right.
still together.
So-
I
Years later.
spilled my first bag of feed.
Yeah, he couldn't fill up a bag.
That's
of
why
feed.
the mice are
Yeah.
still at Jasper, Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all this to lead to Timothy to do something that's really cool because you started what's called
Horsehubby.com. So what's really interesting is, unlike Elisa, who has known single-mindedly since she was 2 years old exactly what she wanted to do, and she's not deviated, right? She's not deviated. Me, I've gone all over the place. I've done all kinds of things, and I wish I had this sense of direction. When I met Elisa, I was in my philosophy program. I was completing, and I was actually teaching a course on love and friendship, and we can talk about that later. But I basically used my students as a way of like understanding and helping me to navigate my relationship with my new girlfriend. But I wanted to relate to Elisa, but I didn't know anything about horses. So what did I do? I'm like, okay, I know a thing or two about the internet.
Oh, what did he do? Oh, yeah.
I know a thing or two about the internet, so how am I going to help? Well, maybe I can help with marketing.
This is true.
And so what happened was, as a result of me trying to impress Elisa, but more than that, just try to be involved in her life and learn more about the equestrian sport
Right.
And
as a
impress her.
spectator
And impress her.
impress her. Learning about marketing, recognizing that she's an incredible talent. At that time, she had no sponsors. She had nothing in the form of sort of social media. People, not particularly well known. You were sort of at a lull in your string, right? So you'd had some disappointments in those years. So you were rebuilding. So it was a way for me to contribute while at the same time developing additional skills, which eventually.
Basically, he used me for his.
Yeah.
Which eventually, and I
Whatever
won't
it's called.
bore
That's
you
what
with the
relationships
details.
are all about.
Yeah.
But now, what do I do for a living?
What do you do?
What do you do?
I
Marketing.
Tell me.
yeah, I'm in marketing. So
Okay.
I'm a senior marketer with a very large global software company.
All right.
And that was developed because of all your work
And
with
if
her.
not for Elisa Wallace,
be there.
I would not be here, and I wouldn't be there.
That's awesome. See,
Yeah.
things happen, and she wouldn't be where she is.
And she's made me change all of the passwords on all of our computers.
Well, don't tell people
Tell
this.
what are your passwords?
What? This
Yeah,
is
what
not
are
smart.
they?
You're a
Tell
very
us,
smart
then you can go
person.
home and
You're
change
not
all your
very
passwords.
smart.
What are the passwords?
The only computers that don't have anything on them.
No.
So-
just
Okay, I'm not going to say.
Okay, now I want to wind
Wait.
this. Wait,
You
You know
can't
what
know.
passwords are.
I know. I want to
Because
wind
she
this
said.
back into. Tell us about horse huppies.
Okay, so horsehubby.com, I was super bored and decided one day, I was on an airplane for some business thing, and I'm like, I should write a blog post. And I wrote a blog post. I'm like, where am I going to put this thing? Oh, I'm going to buy a domain and put it on Horsehubby, and the post took
You
off.
asked me what to name it.
Yeah, we did. We went to this conversation.
So if I go to
Horsehubby.com.
horsehubby.com, why am I going there?
Horsehubby.com, it's basically a playbook for how to navigate a relationship with a horse girl.
Yeah.
Which
Wow.
more than that, like if you're a husband who's like married, if you're a boyfriend who is dating, if you're a father, it's been really helpful for people. If you're a woman who's married to a horseman, there's like a similarities there. So a lot of really great articles. I've not been so great about keeping it up in recent years, but there's a huge repository of
Stuff.
material there. And I do keep up on social media.
and
So
I-
on Facebook and Twitter, at Horsehubby.
And I think it's really cool that he did it, and a lot of people appreciate it and go and read it. But also the other thing that Timothy did for us, and directly,
Directly is
was the Eventing Radio Show.
Oh yeah, because I had a podcast
Right.
with our good friend
Yeah.
Glenn the Geek.
So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And so it's been a great.
That's why actually we just wanted Elisa, but then we remember you did that for us. We
So
felt
we-
like
So
we
I had a
to have you on.
modicum of celebrity.
You were like, we got to bring him on and say thanks.
A small audience, but an audience nonetheless. Let's just add them all together.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, all those eyeballs.
We're using you both.
You're
It's
welcome.
Basically,
Okay.
we're in a relationship.
It's basically a marriage.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't do
and
it.
there we go.
Put the bit down.
So this has been a great episode 3, and it's been a pleasure to have my daughter and my son-in-law here. And I think we're going to be talking some more about the safety issues at the beginning of the segment, or beginning of the episode that we talked about, and we're excited about having Sharon White on,
Yeah,
on the
so
next show.
and yeah, that's right. So the next show we have coming up in 2 weeks is going to be with Sharon White. We're excited to have her because she did just win Red Hills, which
She sure did.
We'll probably talk a little bit more about that with her, and then find out what her plans are going forward for the end of spring
I
season.
do understand that she likes to meditate, and I'm going to have her teach me how to do that a little bit.
It's probably
Yes,
not going to be
please.
great television
He needs
or
meditation.
radio.
Well, we can talk through
Just
it
be quiet
for our listeners,
20
and we
minutes.
can do.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not going to sell big.
That's okay. We'll have Sharon.
It's going to be a really quiet show.
We'll have Sharon tell us if we can sell it or not. How's that?
All right.
But why don't you tune in and see what happens with us and Sharon when we do our Zen
meditation.
God,
Thanks
for
selling
being here.
Time.
Thanks for Horse Trailer Pros for presenting our show, and come and join us next time. When's our next show? March.
Come
on.
Hold on. We don't have to leave yet.
Oh, wait, don't leave.
Don't leave.
And thank you guys for inviting us to be on while we're stalling and waiting for the
March
thing.
so
No, I really
26th.
appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about our story and yeah. Are you ready?
I appreciate. Thank you that was really well done. Thank you for that. So the next show is going to be March 26th when we'll have Sharon White on, and we'll have lots of promos about that and all kinds of fun shenanigans for sure. So,
Thanks again, everybody.
Thanks for joining.
Good night.
Rick Wallace,
And I have Don Holly here with me.
3 phases, dressage, cross country, show jump, and you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right, you know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.